Hello, dear students. So, I welcome you to the next lecture of Novel Drug Delivery System. So, as you must be aware, we have started the discussion regarding the mucosal drug delivery systems. So, in the previous lectures, we have given you an introduction regarding the mucosal drug delivery system and what are the rationales of developing the mucosal drug delivery system. So today's session will be based on means what is the oral mucosa and the different types of mucosas which we are actually targeting for the process of mucoadhesion. So because of the mucoadhesion, we are able to get different drug release characteristics. So first in this session, I will be telling you regarding the oral mucosa, and then I will be telling you what is the mechanism behind the mucoadhesion process. So let us start with this figure. So this is means the introduction of the oral mucosa. So as the name says, we are considering or we are introducing you the mucosal properties or the mucosa of the oral cavity. So you can see the oral mucosa presents a surface area of about 100 centimeter square. So it becomes a very good target for absorbing of the drugs and bypassing the first pass effects. So now let us see in means how many types we can categorize the oral mucosa. So you can see depending upon its function and its constitution, we have divided the oral mucosa in three main categories. First is the masticatory mucosa. Second one is the lining mucosa, and the third one is known as the specialized mucosa. Now let us see where are actually they are distributed as far as the oral mucosa or the oral cavity is being concerned. So the distribution of masticatory mucosa is in the gingiva, that is, it can be in the free or the attached or interdental area, and it also constitutes the hard palate. And the overall percentage which it constitute to the oral mucosa is around 25%. Similarly, the lining mucosa is the most abundant type of oral mucosa, and you can see it covers around means 60%, which is a very large amount percentage. So depending upon its distribution, you can see over here it covers the floor of the mouth, the ventral or the underside of the tongue, alveolar mucosa, the cheeks, lips, and the soft palate. So you can see majority of the area is actually lined is the lining mucosa, and there is only 15% which constitute the specialized mucosa, and its distribution is towards the dorsal tongue or on the dorsal trunk, and it is composed of cornified epithelial papilla. So now let me introduce you the actual arrangement and the tissues which are involved in the constitution of the oral mucosa. So you can see over here the actual pictorial representation, or we can say the histopathological drawing of this distribution of oral mucosa has been shown in this B figure, and this is the actual figure of the oral mucosa and its main tissue components. So you can see it can be divided in the first epithelium, then the lamina propria, and then the submucosa. So this is the histological picture of this drawing. Similarly, you can see we have shown you the masticatory and the lining mucosa. So these are the histological figures of the oral mucosa. So you can see the different layers shown very clearly in this diagram. So for further detail and understanding of regarding the oral mucosa, you can just go and review this article by Critchley et al. So this is the link DOI So you can just go and read out more in detail regarding the oral mucosa. So coming towards the different mucosas which are actually present in the overall body, so you can see the epithelia, which is actually the major layer or the first most layer. It can be single layer or it can be multi-layered. So depending upon the constitution of this epithelium, we can further classify the mucosas. Means now we are not concerned only with the oral mucosa, now we are talking about the whole mucosal membrane which are present inside our body. So we have introduced you this in the previous lecture as well. So you can see if the epithelia is single layered, so it has been found or it has been distributed in the stomach, the small and the large intestine, as well as in the bronchi. But when the multi-layered or stratified epithelium is there, so it will be found in the esophagus, vagina, or the cornea. So this is the brief regarding the mucosas. Now let me just tell you what actually these means when the epithelia is single layered. So you can see it contains goblet cells which secrete the mucus, and it is directly available on the epithelial surfaces. Whereas if we talk about the multi-layered or stratified mucosa, so you can see they are adjacent to tissue containing specialized glands such as the salivary glands, and these are responsible for the secretion of mucus onto the epithelial surface. Now this mucus is present either as a gel layer adherent to the mucosal surface or as luminal soluble suspended form. So this is the mucosal or the mucus which is present over here. So in the next slide I will show you the composition of the mucus, because we are actually targeting to make mucoadhesive drug delivery system. So until unless we are not aware with the composition of the mucus, so we will not be able to target or make a formulation which is mucoadhesive to the system. So you can see the mucus is actually translucent and viscid secretion, and it actually forms a thin continuous gel which is adherent to the mucosal epithelial surface. So you can see, so the mucus is found on the topmost layer of this epithelium. So the actual or the major component of this mucus gel are, this is the most important thing, this is the mucin glycoprotein. So majority of the drugs or the systems are targeted to get adhere to this mucin glycoprotein only. So mucin glycoprotein is the major constituent, then lipids are there, inorganic salts, and water is also there. So this water is actually constituting around more than 90% of the total mucus, but the target site or the area of interest is this mucin glycoprotein. So now we will see what is mucoadhesion actually. So it is defined as the attachment of synthetic or biological macromolecule to the biological tissue. But you should be very much aware by this fact that we are only concerned with the mucoadhesion, which is a reversible process. If a means irreversible binding is there, so it will may lead to some serious consequences. So we need to make a formulation which should be reversibly binding to this mucous membrane. Rather, we are trying to make a permanent binding system. So you can see when it is applied to mucosal epithelium, bioadhesive interaction occurs primarily with the mucus layer, and this process is known as the mucoadhesion. So let us see the overall mucoadhesion process, which is being shown in this diagram taken from the very wonderful article by the Smart et al. Published in the Advanced Drug Delivery Reviews in the year 2005. So this is the complete article which can give you a better insight of the overall oral mucosa and mucoadhesion processes and the theories and the various mechanisms involved. So you can see, if we are talking about a dry or partially hydrated dosage form which is contacting the surface with substantial mucus layer. So you can see this is aerosolized particle which are actually deposited in the nasal cavity. So this is the particle and this is the mucus layer which is being secreted by the epithelial surface, on the epithelial surface, sorry. So this is the actual principle which, or the actual mechanism which is working when we are trying to deliver the drug or the formulation into the nasal cavity. So how does this makes into the mucoadhesion process? So you can means have a visualization from this diagram. Coming towards when we are trying to deliver a formulation to the GIT or the oral cavity, and we are trying to develop a gastro or the mucoadhesive gastroretentive drug delivery system. So you can see this is the particle and it has been surrounded by a polymer which has been hydrated when it comes in contact with the GI fluids. So this polymer will make the binding with this mucus layer and provide sufficient mucoadhesive properties. So you can see fully hydrated dosage form containing surfaces with substantial mucus layer. So these are actually the particles suspended and they are getting dispersed into the GIT. Now coming towards the main point of communication is the any tablet which is made in that fashion to obtain mucoadhesion in the oral cavity. So you can see the oral mucosa we are talking about. So dry or partially hydrated dosage forms are there and these are contacting the surface with thin discontinuous mucus layer. So an example of tablet placed onto oral mucosa can be taken in this regard. And different types of gel formulations are also there which are actually contacting with the vagina. So you can see over here. So aqueous microparticle administered into the vagina. So fully hydrated dosage form contacting surface with thin discontinuous mucus layer. So depending upon the mucus or the mucosa which we are trying to interact, we can modify our different formulations. Now let me share you the actual mechanism behind the mucoadhesion principle. So the mechanism behind the mucoadhesion process is, can be divided into two steps. So the first step is actually the contact stage and the second step is known as the consolidation stage. So you can see this is the drug loaded system and the means the whole system has been made up of some polymers. So when it comes in contact with the GI fluids, it begins to swell. So the hydration principle works over here, and after the swelling, so you can see the polymers are getting interacted with the mucin membrane or the mucin uh, polymers which are actually present on the mucosa. So the permanent or we can say intermittent penetration occurs between the polymers which are present in the mucoadhesive drug delivery system and the mucin protein which is there on the mucosa. So an intimate contact occurs between mucoadhesive and the mucous membrane. So this is the contact stage and this actually depend on the contact angle which the formulation is making with this mucin or the mucous membrane. So coming towards the consolidation stage, which is the final stage, so you can see various physiochemical interaction occurs to consolidate and strengthen this adhesive joint, and this may provide better prolonged adhesion. So you can see the figure which is being portrayed over here. So this is our dosage form and we are trying to means adhere this dosage form to the mucosa of the oral cavity. or different parts of the body. So you can see the first is the contact stage. So this mucous membrane means the formulation is getting means hydrated, and after getting hydrated it is getting interacted with the mucosa of the mucus, means the mucus of the mucosa, and you can see this is the interaction area. So the successful muco adhesion is actually dependent on both these two stages. First is the contact stage. If the contact angle is not sufficient, so the dosage form will not actually adhere to this mucous membrane. And final means if the consolidation stage has not been given a sufficient time, so this mucoadhesion will not form a satisfactory results. So thank you dear students, I hope you have enjoyed this session.